Hello and welcome to another video where we'll be discussing some Mistweaver healing. Today we're going to be talking about Heroic Odyn. Unfortunately, this isn't Mythic Odyn. We had spent the week wiping on him. About 60-70% of our week was spent on him. Still not dead, so I'll be kicking off kind of a three-part series here. We'll talk about each of the TOV bosses on Heroic to start, and then kind of circle back as I kill them with my guild. We'll add in the Mythic videos. So we'll be talking about Odyn on Heroic today and kind of walking through the fight. Before we jump in, I did want to kind of give a shout out to the Monk Discord. I'll put a link to the Discord in the description of the video, but a lot of what I'm going to be talking about today is things that kind of they discuss and work on every day. So definitely give a shout out to those guys over there. They've been really helpful over the past couple of days. Past couple of weeks, kind of helping me just refine and just listening to them talk through the fights and just through some strategies. Really helpful. So definitely shout out to those guys. And you'll kind of see, I'll start pointing out some changes in the playstyle, my playstyle in general, as we kind of go through the next set of videos, particularly in Heroic. And again, once we start killing some more mythic bosses, add in some more mythics. So without further ado, let's jump into the video today. So we're starting on Heroic Odyn. It's kind of a three-phase fight. It is fairly lengthy, and there's a bunch of situational awareness, but there are predictable damage patterns, so you can kind of game the system, things like that. So here we are, kind of pulling into phase one, and right off the bat, you'll notice just kind of getting some rems up. And the first ability coming out here is Horn. You definitely want to keep spread for that. It's kind of the way these two bosses interact, right? You spread for Horn, and then when the next ability coming up, Shield, in about 4 or 5 seconds, you'll kind of group up for that. So it's kind of a lot of group up, spread out, things like that. What you'll notice here with me is Ram has now been off cooldown for almost the entire time. Haven't put it up yet. It's definitely a huge miss on my part. Should have been casting even now, right? Even though there's nothing to heal, you want to keep those Rams out there, just because here we took a bunch of damage and could I get some free healing from Rem perspective. I am doing pretty okay on Chi Burst, and using, Vivify only with UT procs. However, I am leaving those UT procs up for close to 5-6 seconds. Better use them just to get a little bit of healing back out there. As always, using Thunder Focus Tea with Vivify only, just for the mana savings. And just kind of making sure you kind of continue to keep that Rem on cooldown. I missed it early, kind of sucked. So Rem on cooldown, like there, Chi Burst on cooldown, and just really follow the damage pattern in this phase one, which is, spread out, and then group up, spread out, group out, group up. The other thing is I could have probably blown Chi early on, just so it would be up in phase two, but I didn't. I held it along that with Revival. I mean, you could kind of snipe heals if you really care about it, or if your guild's having trouble and not a bunch of people are soaking, or not being able to top people off after their horns. Revival's a great spot there. Chi again, just give you guys some more coverage. So what you see here, we actually do push the bosses over, and as such, the ads kind of just become deactivated. You still have to kill them, but you no longer get the brands and things like that. So going into phase two is super important to understand where you're positioning, and kind of what's coming at you. So what you'll see is that's the first big ability with the boss coming out, and the circles. So you don't want to stand in the swirls. You'll probably end up dying, if not taking a bunch of damage, and probably get comboed down by a separate ability. And then the others are the little orbs that spawn out of the spears. You just really want to dodge them. They stun you. You get stunned. You can get stunned into spears. Just overall a bad kind of situation. Definitely get comboed down. What you'll notice here is I finally used Mana Tea for the first time and kind of just spammed out some Vivifies and some Essence Fonts. I did cast a Vivify there without a UT proc, which is kind of a huge issue. You definitely don't want to be casting Vivifies without UT procs. Really, the only time you should be casting Vivify, like I think I mentioned earlier, was with a UT proc or with Thunder Focus Tea. Any other time, you're basically potentially wasting mana. So, like, you see my weak aura down there for Essence Font. Shouldn't have been casting Vivify. Should have been casting Essence Font. There's, I think, 15 or 16 people around me who are injured. definitely could have supported healing them. I even kind of had the mana to do it too. I'm only at 48%. Even though the boss is at 74, there's still plenty of time to regen. There's some down periods. I probably get regen some mana also. So definitely, can, as you can see, really play better. This was before I really started kind of listening in on the Monk Discord, kind of following along with that conversation. So the whole Vivify only with UT and TFT is something I haven't really been doing with this video. I still wanted to post this for the simple fact that we can kind of hey, here's where I started, and kind of get a good idea of what I need to get better, what we can get better at together, basically, as we kind of think about healing with our monks. So again, just really situational awareness in this fight. Watch your feet, watch the balls coming across. If you can spot them early, move into spots where you're not going to get hit, anything like that. You see there, I did get clipped. It is heroic. We overgear the fight. I didn't die, but I mean, if you're just starting out on this fight, you potentially, can get gibbed by getting clipped by a spear like I did there. Almost walked into that ball. Luckily saw it, dodged it, and here you go. We've pushed the boss into phase 3. So we did hero just to get over the hump there. Probably a good place to hero is kind of going into phase 3, the transition there. And kind of get a bunch of extra damage, just a little bit of downtime, you should kind of move them into position. So the main kind of two abilities in phase 3 are those tornadoes, right, that get dropped, and then the spears on the tanks. The tanks have to kind of dodge. You'll basically want to listen out for your tanks. If they need cooldowns, they'll call out for it. And then if you do get targeted with the tornado ability, what I did was wrong. On the first one, I kind of dropped it along the inner edge. It kind of creates a barrier, trying to get in between positions. I actually think I dropped this one off in the wrong spot too. Yeah. You basically want to try and put everything out to the outside edges to kind of leave enough area for you to run in between the different sections as the boss kind of transitions. This is one of our kind of sloppier attempts. What you'll end up seeing is, we lose a tank and we're down to one tank for, as you see, probably the final, 15% of this boss. So somehow, a gear basically carries us through, but even under this high pressure kind of situation, I do make a ton of mistakes here. So I have Mana Tea on cooldown or off cooldown. I could use it. Ram is, not even using Ram at this point. Kind of spamming out Vivifies, using Shayloons and things like that. So definitely probably should have Mana Tea'd earlier. Got my Essence Vine out there. Make sure Ram was on cooldown, things like that. And then I do eventually end up dying just because I am low and I don't move quick enough after that. I recommend if you can support it, when you drop a tornado, just roll right out of it. Make sure you point in a direction that's clear, and you should be good to get out of it. Luckily, though, guild carried. We got through it, and we killed the boss. So that was it. Like I said, I think the biggest thing is that just kind of highlights some of the bad play, incorrect play using Vivify, wasting basically mana. So for the next couple videos, like I said, we'll look through Heroic DOV, and kind of talk about some of the things that I've learned, kind of reading the Monk Discord, talking to those guys, listening to what they have to say. So like I said, this is like the first video in that 3-part series. We'll talk about Guam next, and then we'll talk about Helia. And honestly, the other thing I want to say is thank you very much for watching. And again, if you want to kind of join the discussion, join some more, I definitely recommend hopping in the Monk Discord. Link would be in the description below. So thank you very much for watching, and we will talk to you later.